I did a Credit Karma video a few months ago, and I asked you to comment below if you're interested in learning about how I maintain an 800 score, and the comments went absolutely nuts. Today, we're going to talk about it right now, and we're going to talk about how exactly I got that 800 credit score and how you can do the same thing. Thanks to Credit Karma, I'm going to walk you through exactly how Credit Karma works. It's absolutely free to use. I've never paid a dime for the thing, and I've had it for like how many months now? Haven't even paid a dime. Haven't been scammed. Haven't gotten annoying emails. Hey, before we get started, I want to welcome back my Sweet Lifers. That's the community where we are smart about how we handle our money so we can live our ultimate sweet life. So become a Sweet Lifer yourself. Subscribe today. And by the way, guys, I want to talk about an important thing, and that is the question of the day. Why do you think credit scores are important? Comment down below. Drop me a line and let me know why you think a credit score is really that important. Or do you think a credit score isn't really important? Are you kind of in the Dave Ramsey field of saying credit scores are an I love debt score, and the more your credit score goes up, the more you're in debt? Guess what? I'm debt free. My credit score is 800. But who cares? I'll get to that a little bit later. Drop a line with your thoughts down below. Let's get to it. I'm going to actually hop over to my computer. We're going to get down to this little scene right here. We're going to go onto the computer so I can walk you through exactly my Credit Karma report and tell you all the details of how you can get an 800 plus credit score. So here we are. All right, we're on Credit Karma's website. There's a link down below in the description. Click on that link. That'll take you over to Credit Karma. Get started today. I'm going to walk you through exactly what's going on. The very first thing, of course, we got to do is log into the thing. And I'll do that right now. And then here we are, my friends. And as I shared with you on that video, here's my 800 score. So how this works, and in fact, what I want you to do, if you haven't seen that original video yet, I'll include a link to that video above as well as down below in the description. And it talks about a little bit of how Credit Karma actually works, how they calculate credit scores, but they pull from two different ways. TransUnion, which is one of the major credit reporting bureaus, as well as Equifax. There is another one called Experian, but for this purpose, they only have these two. What's really cool about Credit Karma, as you can see right here, it's checked daily on TransUnion. I think that's kind of cool. Equifax is usually, I think it's like once a week or so, it'll pop in a new score here or an updated score based on what is going on. So I got to tell you guys really quick, years ago, I would hop over to annualcreditreport.com and once a year, I would just pull up my credit report. Now that was my credit report, not my credit score. So it's just kind of like that was what I was doing just to kind of monitor my credit. And sometimes I would use my credit card benefits to see what my credit score was. But I'll tell you what, now that I use Credit Karma, it's been just super easy. You can either do it this way here on the browser as we have up right now, or you can hop over on the phone. There's an app for Credit Karma that you can keep an eye on as well. So here's the trick. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through exactly how I do this and why it's important. Let's say you're sitting here with a 500 or a 600 credit score. How do you get that up into the exceptional range? You wanna get it as high as possible. The maximum score is an 850, so higher the better. All right, I'm gonna click on, we'll start with TransUnion. And as you see here on the browser, you just click on whatever you want, okay? So I'm gonna start with TransUnion, just click on it. And that's going to take you over to this next screen. Now, here's where it's going to show you some history, and I want to point something out because I know a lot of you are going to zoom in here right now and be like, wait a minute, look what's going on down here. You weren't at an 800 back here in early 2021. What's going on here? 791. I was doing a test, and specifically what I was doing back here is I decided to max out one of my credit cards. I still pay it off every single month in full, so that way I'm not debt-free and carrying over a balance. But because I maxed out that credit card, my utilization went very low. And when your utilization goes low, your credit score drops, and I'll explain what that means in just a moment. But as you can see right now, I'm sitting at an 814. You can see up here, it went up to an 817. All is fine, that's great. If I want to hop over to Equifax, I can either go back to the home screen or just click right here. And right here we go, 811, went up to an 814, and down here to 787 during my little test. So I'm gonna hop back to TransUnion. The very first thing you want to do is look down below here. This is the key of what you want to look at when it comes down to how do I improve my credit score. The very first thing is your payment history. The easiest way to get your credit score up are these two right here, payment history and credit card use. Now, if you've had some prior months where you weren't doing too well with your payment history, you're gonna have to keep focusing on that. It's a little bit more of a marathon, but every single month, make sure you pay your credit card on time at minimum and pay your loans on time every single month. Don't ever delay. No matter what you can do, scrape as much money, get a side hustle, work for Domino's, deliver pizza on the weekends, figure a way out to never have to be late on any payments ever. That's a key point. The next step, and this is important, let's say your payment history is on point, but your credit score is at like a 600 or a 700, you want to get it up a little bit higher, and you're like, well, my payment history, which is a high impact, a very good weight to your credit score, that's looking great. Well, the next step you want to look at is over here at the credit card use. It's basically looking at how much of your available credit line are you using. Creditors look at it this way. If all of a sudden you have like, let's say a $20,000 limit on your credit and you're using $19,000, that means you only have $1,000 left to spend on credit. The higher that amount is, the more risky creditors find you to be. The reason for that is they're worried that you're going to go rogue and you might not be able to pay your bills because you have too much racked up in debt. So I'm going to actually dive into this. Is another cool thing about Credit Karma. If you click on any one of these boxes, it'll give you a deeper dive. I'm going to click on credit card use for an example. It's going to pop me over here and let me know what's going on. First thing I want to point out is right over here. Check this out right here. 2%. So I have an $84,000 credit line right now. At $1,500 is being used. This is basically my credit card that I continuously pay off in full every single month. Sometimes I don't always hit the statement date, so it gets reported. But look at this. 0 to 9% is boom, bam, great. 10 to 29% is still good. So I'll give you one thumb up instead of two. And then we get serious around 49 to 30%. Anything down below here is what you want to avoid, my friends. This 49 down to 75% plus. If you're using that much of your available credit right here, you got to stop. You got to get this down to at least 29% or preferably in the low 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? So that's what's going on here. Now, another thing it will do is let you know what's actually going on with all your different credit. Now, this will pull in any type of credit card you have, and that's what you want to zero in on. Now, right now, you can see right here, I have this one Amex, which only has a $7,800 limit. So what I decided to do a couple months ago is I said, okay, well, my overall credit, which I shared with you right over here at 84,000, that's looking good. So if I jump this over here, let's say I jump right here, it says Amex, right? And I say, I'm gonna max that out to $7,800. Let's give it a try, right? So I decide to put like $5,000 on it. Well, what's gonna happen is that particular card, which you can see is green right now, will go to potentially orange or red, which orange or red is 50 to 75% plus. And for that, you can actually have a risk of bringing your credit score down just a little bit as a result of maxing out one credit. So that's kind of weird. You got to also look at not only your overall credit card use, but your individual credit card use too. This is why I never recommend getting a store credit card, because if you get like a store credit card at like a Target or Sears, is Sears even around anymore? I don't know. But anyway, you get a store credit card, JCPenney's still around. We'll say JCPenney. You go in, you get that kind of credit card. Typically, their store credit cards come with a very low balance, $500, $1,000, $5,000. And if you're buying a major purchase right away on that store credit card, you end up having a higher utilization. It impacts your credit score. So this is your ace in the hole, in my opinion, to focus on first, is credit card utilization. And that will help you quickly turn around a better credit score, and you can monitor it right here on creditcardman.com month over month, week over week, to see if that helps improve you a little bit. So another high impact is any derogatory marks. So if you have one of these, this is another marathon run, just like the payment history, but a collection, a tax lien, bankruptcy, anything like that. If you found yourself in that trap before, you're gonna have to just ride out the wave. You gotta let some years pass you by in order to get back up onto the good mark. I know that sucks to hear, because that doesn't mean give up. It's like the old adage of saying, well, just because I have one flat tire on my car, I'm gonna take a knife and slash all the rest of the three of them. You don't do that. You fix the one tire. So focus on that. Don't slash and just give up and who cares about this, I give up. No, just take the time, let it go away, and things will improve. Bankruptcies, I believe, stay on your record for about 7 to 10 years, so that'll be something to keep in mind. Then we get down into the lower things, the things don't matter as much, and that's the credit age, the total accounts, which is a low impact, and your hard inquiries. So here's the deal. Hard inquiries, first of all, Credit Karma, as they're checking every single day on TransUnion and once a week or so on Equifax, that's not considered a hard inquiry, so you don't have to worry about Credit Karma ruining your credit score. They do what is called a soft inquiry, not a hard inquiry. So just keep that in mind. A hard inquiry is something like a mortgage application or an auto loan. Anything like that is called a hard inquiry. Now you can see I've had 3, and that's usually in the last, I believe, a year or 2. It's actually 2 years. So in fact, I can click on here, it'll tell me. So let's see here. It's a temporary ding, usually bounce back in about 3 months. Plan ahead 9 to 12 months before getting a mortgage or a big loan. So yeah, the key here is, try to give it at least a year or so and keep those inquiries down. The reason I have high inquiries at the moment is I'm actually looking at, once again, refinancing the mortgage. We are actually going to pay off our mortgage early in 5 years. I can't wait. I'm going to update you guys here on the channel about it, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those video updates. But obviously, I got to take a little bit of a ding here on my hard inquiries, and I'll have to get over that. But anyway, so that's kind of what that's all about. Credit age, that's pretty simple. The longer you have had credit, the better. So if you are a student and you're just getting started off, you've turned 18, get yourself a credit card and be smart with it. Do not use money you don't have. Just use it for your everyday bills that you already have cash in the bank for, and then pay off the credit card in full every single month. And that'll just help you kind of get some credit rolling without getting yourself caught up into a big problem of debt, right? All right, so now let's hop over to Equifax really quick, and same type of thing here. So what's strange you'll see here is everything else kind of checks out like TransUnion, but here it actually has credit age 6 years and 2 months, which is giving me a yellow bar, a little bit less, and then hard inquiries of 6, which is red. So let's check out what's going on there. Sometimes what you'll see is that depending on the creditor, they're going to either ping TransUnion or Equifax. Maybe they don't get reporting from all 3 of the credit reporting bureaus. So in this case, Equifax was used more by the creditors than TransUnion. It just happens. That's just something that happens, okay? So I wish this would actually go back. It doesn't let me go back any further than what I see here for the beginning of the year, because obviously I wanted to show you my 800 from before so you don't think I'm trying to recover here. But anyway, this was a test and it obviously worked to what I was trying to do to see if that one credit card could bring my score down, and it certainly did bring me down to about a 787. But what you got to do, guys, hop over to Credit Karma and dig into each one of these categories. These are the things to focus on. Again, focus on payment history, and most importantly, credit card use first. These are the things with the high impact that will help bring you up a little bit quicker. So now more than ever, guys, an 800 credit score, a 700 credit score, 700 plus is always important. You know why? Because it is not only a key factor in helping you with some of the biggest purchases in your life, such as a house. You want to buy a house, you sometimes need a good credit score in order to get a good mortgage. Not only that, some jobs are also now looking at your credit report and your credit score and offering you a job. I know that sounds absurd, but some people are doing this now because they want to see how well does this person handle their money and their overall credit as a key factor of how they handle their life. Are they a potential good prospective employee? Don't be on the wrong side of that fence, guys. Be smart, start today. Here's some other videos you're gonna find that are incredibly badass. You gotta check them out right now. Click either one of these and we'll see you on the next video.